There was one where I was basically whoring out Lisa Turtle.
Mark Paul Gosselaar says he regrets this problematic Saved by the Bell episode. The actor who starred as SoCal heartthrob Zack Morris on the 90s sitcom visits Danielle Fishel, Ryder Strong, and Will Friedle's Pod Meets World podcast and opens up about one particular ep from back in the day that gives him the ick. The reason? Major boundaries were crossed that modern audiences would now find super offensive. He explains,
In terms of like storylines, the one that I think we had to be well, there was a few. There was one where I was basically whoring out Lisa Turtle. To like charge people to kiss her without her consent.
Oh my God.
That was a tough one.
In the episode, which aired during season 2 of Saved by the Bell, Lark Voorhies' character Lisa Turtle charges way too much to her dad's credit card, leading Zack and the gang to help her come up with ways to raise cash to pay it back.
Hey, Lisa, just sit down, look pretty, and trust me.
Zack ends up taking money from boys in the class with the expectation they can kiss Lisa without her permission. Yep, definitely problematic by today's standards. Mark Paul also mentions another episode that's pretty infamous in Saved by the Bell history. He tells Pod Meets World,
The other one was where Zack Morris claimed that he was Native American. And we didn't know how. No. Yeah.
And did you there's no way you remembered these either, right? Like you just kind of stumble into them and you go, oh gosh.
Yeah. Seeing Zack Morris in a full headdress. And
oh my gosh.
And so that was one we had to be a little sensitive on. There are things every single episode that we could pick out.
Gosselaar, who after Saved by the Bell went on to star in NYPD Blue and Mixed-ish, along with 2020's Saved by the Bell reboot, says today he would approach those kinds of questionable storylines with care. He explained on a previous episode of his Zack to the Future podcast, per BuzzFeed, "This is one of those things now, being the actor that I am, I would protect myself as well as my character. This would be one of those times where I would have a dialogue with a writer, producer, and have a discussion and say, I think we should look at this a little deeper. Is this going to reflect well for me, for the character, for the future of the show?"